Dragon's Dogma 2 could very well be the next big RPG game we've all been waiting for. And if you played the first one, you're probably just as excited as I am for Dragon's Dogma 2, and have been craving a super immersive open world fantasy RPG since The Witcher 3. At least that's my case. Dragon's Dogma does a ton of things right when it comes to an open world RPG. Plenty of meaningful, unique quests, a rewarding leveling and skills progression system, gear and loot hunts, intense combat, and of course, top-tier exploration and discovery. And lucky for us, it looks like they're sticking to their roots for Dragon's Dogma 2, which is a great sign. And we do have quite a few things worth noting from the showcase, so let's dive in. And a couple of housekeeping items before we dive into the details. We do have a confirmed release date of March 22nd, 2024. So plenty of time for those newcomers to play the first one. The game may be over 10 years old, but it holds up very well, and I highly recommend giving it a playthrough before Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out. It's actually on sale for a lot of platforms right now, even Nintendo Switch. And if you're interested in hearing these sale prices for your preferred platform, stick around to the end and I'll get those plus the dates they end. To give a quick breakdown for those who've never played Dragon's Dogma, while it has a lot of popular successful features of an open world RPG, what makes this game stand out is its pawn system. So the heart of the game literally has to do with your heart. And the dragon Grigori, who takes it from you, making you an Arisen. And with this new title, you're linked between worlds and other Arisen whose companions, aka pawns, become available to you. With this, you have your first pawn, which you can customize completely. In addition to them, you can take 2 other pawns with you at any time, giving you a party of 4 throughout the game. These pawns can be swapped out at any time at Rift locations, giving you the freedom to change up your party style and even your class, or what they call vocation. This is like a dull-proof system, allowing you to change your vocation easily at the appropriate location. This helps combat rarely become boring and offers endless opportunities to build unique teams, all with different sets of skills and jobs. There are a total of 9 vocations, some very similar to the first game, such as the Mage and Fighter, others reworked and renamed like the Ranger to the Archer, the Assassin to the Thief, and so on. Plus, a new vocation that is exclusive to your playable character, and not available as a pawn, which is the Trickster. And man, the Trickster looks awesome. A new style of summoning/illusions that has what looks like a decent amount of skills and abilities to make the class look like a ton of fun. Now once you've got your Arisen and pawn ready for battle, it's time to take your party out into the world. As I mentioned before, probably one of the best things about this franchise is its exploration. Finding new hidden locations is expected on your journey, and incredibly fun. And they're all very unique, from their internal landscape, loot, and enemies. One thing they did confirm during the showcase is the open world is going to be 4 times larger than the first game, offering even more exploration for us adventurers. And keeping the same Dragon's Dogma aesthetic, it's the beautiful land layout we were hoping for with a familiar charm, but with a new world and improved graphics, of course. And some pretty sick photorealistic lighting. Speaking of graphics, another new feature is the improved character customization system, offering a super in-depth customization for those who love to get creative, and a new system that allows for narrowing down a pre-rendered character. With 3 stage selections, you can easily narrow down your look quickly. I love this personally, because I do care enough about how my character looks, but I also don't want to spend all my time tweaking every last detail. In addition to customization, they also stated that customizing your height and weight will play a role into your stats. So keep that in mind when you're making your character and your first pawn. This game is traditionally physics heavy, so it's going to matter. You and enemies can stumble on rough terrain, hard whacks or heavy spells to a certain part of an enemy can knock them in different ways, or turn them around, and so on. Which is honestly what makes this combat so fun and unique. And because you're in a party of 4, you can expect tough battles and wicked enemies that could never be done solo. And one of the best parts of combat is your strategy. Even down to the smaller enemies, everyone has a weakness, and finding it and taking advantage of it makes the battle super difficult or really easy with some precise attack placement. They showcased a new massive enemy called Talos. Just take a look at this clip. It's super cinematic and I am here for it. You might be getting some Monster Hunter vibes or Shadow of Colossus, and that's all going back to what I mentioned earlier about strategy and tactical decisions. Sometimes the best option is to climb up an enemy and get at its weak spots. I remember giant cyclopses from the first game and having to climb up those dudes and stab them in their eyes. Super fun. And just another quick note on the monsters, they highlighted some new enemies that look like they're going to give us quite the challenge. The Dualhan and the Drake. Alright, and to start wrapping this up, I want to address the main story real quick. While at first I thought this was just an easy recycle of the whole dragon taking your heart again, It is placed in a parallel world, so different worlds, different people, conflicts, and of course, that's all connected on the whole basis of the pawns already existing from other worlds. So if anyone was a little thrown off like me at first, the whole concept of the game is based on one unique Arisen per world, who has become linked between different alternate universes. The actual main story has to deal with a corrupt queen who is desperate to maintain power for her son, and dealing with conflict between two nations of power. Man, I feel like I've only touched a fraction of my notes, but I wanted to get you guys a solid breakdown. And as far as my other thoughts and opinions go, well, I'll save that one for the review. And before we close out, as promised, here's where you can snag the original Dragon's Dogma on each platform. For PC, you can grab this on Steam for $4.79, and that price is good until December 12th. For PlayStation, if you have PlayStation Extra, this one's included. And if you don't, it's still currently sitting at $29.99. On the Xbox Store, it's currently on sale for $4.49 with no set expiration date. And Nintendo Switch for $4.99, good until December 4th. I have a good feeling those prices are probably going to extend and even maybe add one to the PlayStation Store, so just keep your eyes peeled for those. And if I notice some changes, I'll do my best to put some updates in the description or the comments. So what do you guys think about the Dragon's Dogma 2 showcase? Are you pumped up like me, or do you got some concerns? Drop them in the comments. As always, happy gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.